Then drive up to Career Conference 2025, coming over 3 weekends in March to 12 cities across the country. That's double the amount of cities as last year, so everyone can have the opportunity to revel in the recognition, connections, education, and motivation that could help you live up to your potential.
I'm falling into you.
Feeling like a goal-getter? You can take advantage of special career conference challenges and recognition, like the Step Up to DIQ Challenge and the Pearls of Sharing Challenge. We'll light up the career conference stage with recognition and one of these amazing rewards for the top 10 superstars at each conference. Get ready to expand your mind, design your dreams, and strengthen your Mary Kay connections at an event of pink proportions. Show up for yourself so you can fire up your dreams. Mary Kay is going up, and you can join us when you power up at Career Conference 2025.
Ladies,
So excited.
who is going to power up their potential? Who? Tell us who. Raise your hand, put in the chat if you have signed up for Career Conference, okay? Career Conference is amazing. It is all so empowering, and it gives us that boost of just enthusiasm that we need, because we just came off the holidays. We are going right into Valentine's. We are moving. We are just making stride, and it just gives us the boost. So who is going? Put in the chat if you are going. I see Jeannie. Yeah, Jeannie's hand raised. Who else?
In the chat is Wanda, Wanika, April, Sonia.
Nice
Oh my
job,
God.
ladies. We are so proud of you. And I know all the directors already signed up. And if you are still thinking about signing up, just do it. Take an audacious leap of faith on yourself and a risk for your future, for you and your family. Thank you, Hilda. You're all excited over there. Okay, so ladies, I want you to get out something to write on. I just have this little piece of paper. You can do it too. It's a sticky note. And I just want you to put 1 through 7. And I'm going to tell you each one of 1 through 7. And I want you to write them all down. And here we go. Number 1, please write the words that I'm telling you. Number 1 is bookings. Number 2 is new faces, or it's a beauty session. That's all different ways today. That could be on Facebook. That can be on Messenger. That could be virtually with Janice. That could be in person, like the coffee house this next Monday. Okay, the next one. Number 3 is sales. That's making money, crossing the table, and someone's handing you money or Venmoing you or Zelling you for a product, and you're going to give it to them. Star. Are you a star? Are you on target for a star? Just put down star. Pearls of sharing. You just saw it in the, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So number 5, pearls of sharing. And that was in our video for Career Conference. Now you can also earn pearls in another way, but just put pearls of sharing. And I didn't put numbers, I put stars. What are we on? 6?
6.
Okay, walk across the stage. Patsy, just laugh at me and correct me, okay? That's what we do around here. Walk across the stage. And number
7.
Power up. Power up your potentials. Okay, I want you all to just pick up your piece of paper and look at all 7 of those. Look at them.
Kelly, what was number 2?
Number 2 is new faces, beauty sessions.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay, everyone look at your list. There's 7 items. 7 items. Tonight, where are you getting recognition? So put in the chat for bookings. Who has 2 bookings right now on their books? Put it in the chat if you have 2 bookings. Or actually, you can raise your hand and we can put them down. Who has 5 bookings? I'm not even seeing anyone with 2 bookings. So who has 2 bookings?
Diane.
Diane. I know the directors have them, but we want to see consultants. Okay, so we have
Carrie.
0 recognition for bookings, ladies. When
Carrie
we
has her name down.
What?
Carrie.
Okay, Carrie, good job. When we have bookings, we make money. Carrie, you're obviously the queen of bookings tonight. So queen of bookings is Carrie. Go to New Faces or beauty sessions. Do you have any? Did you have any since last Monday? Anyone have any from last Monday to date? Okay, no one's answering that? Okay, so our job really is to get those bookings and see the new faces. New faces bring us the income we're looking for. Sales. Put in the chat your sales. And I'm gonna assume if you have sales, it's because you did some follow-up this week. Because you all said you didn't do new faces. So who has sales?
We've got some faces. Carrie McCurdy did 2 faces. Katie did 4 faces. Carrie's got 450 in sales.
Oh, I'm sorry, I
Congrats.
cannot see the chat.
It's okay. Connie's got 354 in sales. Sherry's got 80 in sales.
Okay, awesome ladies. Okay, who's the top, Diane?
Faces is 4 with Katie, and top sales is Carrie McCurdy with 450.
Okay, great job. Okay, so we are making some sales. I was like, really, all these people, we have no sales. Okay, Carrie McCurdy, great job with your sales. So Carrie is getting the bookings and she did the faces, so she made $450. And Katie, good job seeing new faces. That's awesome. That's where the money's at. And then of course in our follow-up. Okay, Star. Who is on target for Star?
There's brand new people on here, Kelly. Can you tell them what star is?
Oh, well, I will. I'm
Okay, sorry.
trying to get this done right now. Who is on target for Star? Anyone? I see a hand and it's Carrie. Carrie, you're all over the place here. Great job. So is anyone on target for Star? I see Janie. She is on target for Star. Okay, Star is when we
Katie.
see the faces, we can be a star. And a star is a quarterly, what are we in? December 16th to March 15th is this quarter star. And you want to be a strategist. So right now you would want to be putting in 350 by the 15th. So you want to see the faces, put in your 350, because 350 gets you a star, but also a powered up gift. So you want to do that 350. And by the end of the month, you want to do another 350. And that is seeing 8, 9 ladies a week and doing your follow-ups. Follow-ups. Patsy, you say the quote.
Your fortune is in your follow-up.
And Star, you earn prizes. So it is 600 every single month. We like to do the 700 to get the power up, be a strategist, the 15th, and by, I like to say the 28th of every single month. This month, I would say the 26th. Just get it done. And then you get a quarterly prize, and it's like Christmas. And talk to your director. She'll walk through that with you very personally and where you want to go and how to strategize. So being a star. Diane, is there anything you want to add to that?
Nope.
Okay.
I just got a new pom-pom, so I was all excited. I'm just shaking my pom-pom.
Okay, so the next area of recognition, and this is weekly, ladies, pearls of sharing. When you're looking at career conference, are you tracking yourself to bring in team members? Is anyone doing that? Just tell us that you're doing it, how many people you have in right now, or put it in the chat. And you get to walk across stage. That's the next one. Walking across stage. That's when you have 3 new team members. So walking across stage. And the last one is power up. We want to be power up girls. So Carrie, you are the queen of much tonight. Great job. Please look on In Touch and get more of the information for walking across stage and pearls of sharing. And I actually think we have some teaching about it tonight. Great job, ladies. Now, what I would like you to do is keep that little list in front of you. I did an illustration of a sticky note to stick it right in my office.
Ooh.
And I did 2 of them so I can put one on my binder. So I can pay attention, because every single time we take our focus off of our goal, we lose it. Do you know that? It takes 7 seconds for us to get our mind off of where we're going. So look at where you can be recognized. And we would love to see more and more people being recognized, because you are power up girls.
Woo! Good job.
Okay, so we're going to move right on to the announcements. There is so much exciting stuff going on. Holy moly, Janice is on fire, or is that in fuego? And lots of things to take advantage of. She's got
I'll try
There we
to follow
go.
you, babe.
Okay. Janice has an event on the 17th that you can invite a guest to. And it's a skincare class that she's doing. You got it?
Yeah, it's in here somewhere.
Okay, so we've got that for the 17th. If you want that flyer, if you can, I know that Heather's got 2 guests for that already. So it's take advantage of these things. If you got a national that's willing to do a skincare class for you, that's gold right there. And then we have the Lance. Lance is on Wednesday. Lance is one of the scientists from Mary Kay, and he will be on Wednesday night. He is so full of information, and he explains things so well that you'll really grasp what he's talking about. He answers questions that people put in the chat. And then, of course, there's giveaways, and it's a great opportunity to have guests at. That's a don't miss. Even if you don't have a guest, you will get so much information out of that one. I highly recommend that one. Lance is amazing. If you
Patsy,
go
can you
to
see the flyer or not?
yes.
Oh, hey, just making sure.
Thank you. Yeah, sun in your skin is what he's talking about. And you know, we have the new sunscreen that's just launched. So you want to be in the know with Lance. And so the sunscreen and all the new products, if you did PCP or you were a star, you can order early starting as of yesterday. Hopefully you're doing PCP. And as Kelly said, your fortune is in your follow-up. So if you did do PCP, please call those people. Don't assume they got the book and just don't want anything. You want to call those people and check with them, because the item that's in the book this month is the dynamic wrinkle limiter. And you want to make sure that your customers are trying that, because dynamic wrinkle limiter is on page 15. You want to make sure you talk to them about that product, because that's an amazing product. Everyone I've sold it to has been so happy with it. And then some of you have registered for career conference. Congratulations for that. If you haven't, or if you're on the fence, please consider it. If you need help with why or whether to do it, talk to your director, because that is something that we can help you process. Career conference is always amazing, and it is Janice's last one for us, so we want to be sure and not miss that. She's got a luncheon that she's put together that's $44, worth every penny in my humble opinion. And Wednesday with Lance is I'm so excited about. And then, of course, Thursday night, there is a sharing event with one of the nationals. And
No.
did I get everything?
It's
There she
Ambertown
is.
Guillen. She's $1 million director.
And she's amazing. Let's see. Monday, Janice's event is at a coffee house at 6. I don't know what time it's at. It says 6:30. That doesn't
Sorry,
sound
I'll pull
right.
that up off Facebook. Sorry.
Okay. And let's see, did we get everything? Okay. And then, are you working with intention? So, with that thought in mind, we're going to move to the next section of our evening. Take it away.
Okay, well, that is me. I get to talk to you guys about, and mostly I want to hear from you, not just talk to you about um, recapping where we have come so far in our Boss Babe series. So, and we're really trying to focus on, because we've had so many amazing things. We started with Jennifer Cook giving us the heart of Mary Kay and the passion of Mary Kay. Then we had Ann Newberry, a legacy leader who was telling us about getting into action. And then we had Cindy Gress, and then we had our own national sales director, Janice Trude. And so we also had the one that is kind of overarching the whole thing is Linda Tupin, National Sales Director Emeritus, who gave us this challenge of blazing new trails for ourselves. So let's start with that one. Remember Linda Tupin, and she was talking about drawing the circle and identifying the places around you that you want to go to. And we're really wanting to see what you guys are doing. So if you have drawn the circle, give me a high sign, put something in the chat. You've drawn the circle. You have your place. So you've identified one or two places, towns in your circle that you have a place to go. Now, remember, she talked about a place where there was, okay, I see Donna's got a thumbs up. I saw Melissa. Okay. And then she said that the part that really kind of stuck with me is, have you identified your girl there? And so, do you have someone that you know in those places? And I see a thumbs up from Katie. That's awesome. Someone you know that will be the key to introducing you to those people. So have you identified your girl in that place? Okay, good. Okay. All right. And really, have we booked? I mean, where do you guys feel like you are in that process? And if you want to come off your mic and just let me know, because I don't want to talk to you. I want to hear what you have to say, or put something in the chat. Let me know, where do you feel like you are in that process as far as blazing a trail? I see Melissa. Is that because you have something you want to share with us?
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure I was on off the audio. Yes, I have somebody in, I think, San Anselmo, somewhere near there, who I'm working on, and somebody in Vallejo, and I would like to get somebody in Healdsburg. So
Okay.
I'm excited about that.
Yes. That's fantastic. Yep. That's awesome. And
Melanie, do you mind if I ask her a question? I don't
Go
want
for
to
it.
interrupt.
Nope.
So, Melissa, what did you hear from Linda Tupin that made you all of a sudden expand the way you're thinking about that? Like, would you have normally said, I want to build in Healdsburg? Or was it drawing that map and saying, how far am I willing to go? And then taking action?
Drawing the map, and just, we've been hearing this for all month, and I'm like, yeah, I need to broaden. And I've kind of done that because I have 3 customers. Four, almost 4 customers at one of the facilities I work at in Corte Madera. So I'm very excited about that. And yeah, just they will lead me to more new people. Yeah.
It's funny how that expands the way we think. It's some simple exercise like that. All of a sudden we start considering other towns.
Yeah, because it's like, yeah, it just excites me. The Bay Area is a big place. So it's like there's a lot of, uncharted territory, and especially Marin. I mean, Patsy's in Novato, but there's a
I
lot of.
haven't facialed all 60,000 people, so there's plenty of faces.
Well, yeah, you haven't facialed people in Corte Madera or San Rafael. I mean, maybe you have, but there's so many people.
Yeah, that's awesome. And yes, and there's people that she doesn't know, and that's always the big thing is we would think, oh, but so and so's already there, but people they don't know.
Right.
So
It's a big place.
we're super proud of you, and Kelly's like giving you the
Oh,
the capital letters. Awesome
Oh.
job, Melissa.
oh, that's sweet.
So that's awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, now here's another, and I love hearing the success stories. So thank you for that. Here's another thing. Now, last week we heard from our national sales director, Janice, and I would love if you told me in the chat one thing that she told you or that that stuck with you, and then I'll kind of guide that a little bit too. But something you heard Janice say that you might want to actually do yourself. And remember, she also talked about drawing the circle because, but she also talked about branding ourselves, having, cards and flyers, acting with intention. So being ready to invite people when you're out there. Donna says she wants to do a presentation board. Katie says brand ourselves. Okay. What have we done? Anybody try the branding this week? And what did you do? Because Kelly gave us a challenge. In fact, she asked me because I said I was going to wear my take my Mary Kay towel to swimming, and yes, I did. But does anybody have try the branding this week, and what was the result of that? Or be intentional with giving out a business card or talking to someone.
It's Katie here. I have my mic on, having some issues with my camera, but I actually, after we had one of the nights where the women did the presentation with the makeup and all that, I ordered like the mascaras and the makeup because I get compliments on my makeup a lot and stuff. So
Wow.
I figured switch all my makeup over to Mary Kay, did an order for myself, started wearing that, went to a party on Saturday for a gender reveal, had so many people, and then that got the word out, and so there's so many people that want to get in touch. And so I was like, okay, the next thing I need to get now is my business cards to hand out because that really was a good way to brand. And then, my I have a shirt and stuff, and so wearing that, it just starts conversations so that, when I wear the makeup and stuff, I can say, oh, it's Mary Kay and blah, 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 and advertise it that way and brand it that way.
And we know Hilda has a shirt. So
That a girl, Hilda. I also
Donna's
want to
got
help.
socks.
So Yudi's brand new, but Yudi went this weekend to visit family. And so I said to her, borrow 3 of my fragrances and take a few samples with you. And so she took satin hands out of her kit or my little satin hands and satin lips and a couple perfumes. And she sold 22 items toward her 25 items for her pink ring.
Ooh,
So
wow.
she just said, would you like this? Would you like, so she's super new. We haven't even done her kickoff party yet, but, so Yudi, I'm very proud of you for being intentional. You went with intention and took samples, and she said she was. Yudi, do you want to tell us, were you surprised when everyone was excited to buy from you, or?
Yeah, I was a little surprised how effective it is when you have the samples with you. Because I remember Mario, he was very shocked to see that the cologne he was trying is the actual full size of the product that now he's purchasing from me, right?
Is that your husband, I assume?
No, Mario is my uncle.
Oh, your uncle. He saw the full size bottle and he ordered one.
Yeah, he ordered one. And he's very picky with his cologne. Like he doesn't accept any presence that's not from a specific brand. So I was very shocked that he really liked the high intensity cologne. Yeah, but I believe it's the having the actual bottle in your hand is what made a difference.
Well, I appreciate you being intentional with that.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
fantastic. I'm super proud of you too. So, okay, well, is there anything else from our what we've done so far, even if it was one of the other ones that that's something that has stuck with you. We were, you know, I would love to hear that. Otherwise, I think
Donna says she wore her Mary Kay socks to work.
Yep.
And Faye says, I love sharing samples. People feel pampered when they get nice size samples or little Mary Kay gifts.
Yep. And
thanks you guys for sharing that.
Yep.
I didn't know we had Mary Kay socks.
Oh,
Carrie's got her hand up.
Carrie.
I'm telling you guys, everybody go get a sticker for the back of your car. I have more people flag me down and chase me. You almost kind of scary sometimes because you're like, what are they doing? But I've had people follow me all the way to my house and literally go,
could be
"So
scary.
you do this, you do this," and I'm like, yes. And so yeah, I have sold colognes. I have sold eye makeup remover. Because men will stop you too if they like a cologne, which I found out because some guy stopped me at a gas station.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah, and that's being intentional, but it's also branding yourself. So that is and being prepared, because that's another thing, is having inventory available when someone does, you know, they see you branded and they're like, do you have whatever it is? Eye makeup remover is a big one. Do you have that? And you want to be prepared. So that's awesome. Okay. Well, I think we're going to move on, and Diane is going to introduce our new Trailblazer.
Before I do that really quick, I do want to share this flyer with you. I don't know why I couldn't pull it up here before. This is Janice's event. It's on Monday. It's at Gratitude Coffee. And so we're going to be doing skincare and color. We're going to be doing a bunch of drawings and a bunch of giveaways. But talk about intentional. I went down to FedEx Kinko's and I said, how do I put this in a flyer? Can I put two on a page? And she said, sure. Do you want me to run them off? I said, sure. She goes, do you want me to cut them? I said, sure. So I'm stamping the back with my contact info, and I'm going around Concord tomorrow, reaching out to people. I might even go to Gratitude Coffee and say, hey, I'm doing a makeover event. Would you like to be a model for me next Monday? Can I get your contact info? You're gorgeous or whatever. So I literally ran off a stack of 35 of these, and I have them all ready to go to invite people for. Just make sure you ask them, do you already have a Mary Kay girl taking care of you, so you don't, end up snagging someone else's client, but we're all good, right? Okay, so who's ready to hear a legacy leader? Another legacy leader. I'm sure you all are. So I want you guys to grab your outline that's from the Trailblazer thing, and there's a place at the top where you can. Oh, by the way, did you guys all put your points in for the week? You get points for everything. You get points for turning on your camera. If you did a accountability call with your director, all those things, make sure you turn your points into your director. But our teacher tonight is Dawn Otten Sweeney, who is a very matter-of-fact, great, she's an amazing speaker. So let me pull up her video. Hold on a second. Okay, wait, that is not the one. It gave me the consultant packet. Hold on. Video links. No, that's not what I want. Here we go. I was just going to go, wait, these were on here 2 seconds ago. Now I have to go up here before I screen share because you guys won't be able to hear it. I got to share my audio. Share more stereo. Okay, this should work.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to the Boss Babe Trailblazer edition. And I could not be more excited that Karen Rydell asked me to participate in this. And it's not by accident. It's not by accident that you're listening and you're in Mary Kay right now. And it's not by accident that Karen asked me, and all the speakers are going to serve a role in this. I promise you, because you are part of a trailblazing DNA, pioneering opportunity mission field for women. And God had to remind me about this feature of our DNA when COVID-19 happened. Pandemic happened. world shut down. My husband owns a gym and conditioning facility. We live in Michigan. Our state was closed down the soonest and possibly the longest. His business was one of the first to go. And at that point in time, I was not a digital diva. I could not have done this. I didn't have a laptop. I had a hard drive the size of a dishwasher in my home, hooked up to the wall that me and my assistant worked on because I've been in Mary Kay 38 years. Our trailblazing was done in cars, in airplanes, hotel rooms, training centers, women's kitchen tables, offices, etc. And all of a sudden, we are sitting in our tiny little unrenovated 60-year-old lake house. And I'm realizing, well, okay, well, the majority of my income is not made from selling this product. And if we can't get product and my people can't get product, there's no income coming into our family at all. That's kind of a scary thought that I've never had in my 4 years up to that point in time. But what God reminded me is that you have been a trailblazer, you have been a pioneer all along. You were warm booked in a mall. You were raised to do a good job and get in a great school and have a good job and be a good person and go to church on Sunday and Monday through Friday, work hard and raise your family if you could figure out as a woman how to do that around that schedule. And Saturday have recreation, work to retire, have some great vacation time in between. That's what I was raised for. And then all of a sudden, I'm realizing with this job out of college that this is get up, go to work, come home, watch TV, eat dinner, go to bed. Get up, go to work, come home, watch TV, eat dinner, go to bed. At the city they choose, regardless of what's going on in my life, it doesn't matter what's going on with, my family or my husband or my kids to be or aging parents or the part of the country, doesn't matter. This is the job you're supposed to do. Period. The end. And there's something about that didn't settle well with me. I didn't like making less than men for doing the same job. I didn't like that someone else had control over my time and my finances versus my willingness and my coachability and my dreams and goals. And so, voila, sitting in a mall in the middle of the day, I was warm booked to be a face model for a new consultant's portfolio. Debbie Moore made her talk to me because that new consultant, Nancy Murata, was very shy. Nancy came to my apartment, me and my roommate tried the skincare, bought basic skincare, blush rouge, yellow concealer, and loved it. And then she invited me to an event. And at that event, that's where I started to get the inkling, like, I think this is my tribe. Like, I think these are the women I'm supposed to be with. Like, they're encouraging each other. I never, ever felt like I fit in with any group. I could hang out with all the different groups, but never felt like I fit in. Until in Mary Kay, oddly, I did feel like I fit in. And it wasn't because we were the same age, education, language, body shape, makeup preference. Nope. There was something about this tribe that I went, and I realized, looking back, they were trailblazers. They were women from 18 to 90, PhDs, GEDs, moms of 10 kids, single women, divorced, widowed, living all little towns, big towns, extroverted, introverted, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But they had a desire to blaze a new trail, to be a pioneer. And Mary Kay gave them the mission as she has given it to us. So you are a trailblazer, whether you've recognized it or not. It's in your DNA, or I don't believe that you'd be with us in Mary Kay right now, where we need women trailblazing straight to the top. If you have a leadership bent, we need you. If you don't have a leadership bent, could you please find some leaders? Your director's going to help you do that. Absolutely. And that is called passing it on, which Mary Kay Ash, she wasn't just a trailblazer for her own trail. She did this so that we would have a trail to walk on, but knowing that she couldn't know all the things that have happened in the last 62 years of this company, that everything would be shut down and our business that we prided on being in person could be revolutionized to be able to do it with the computer screen in between us. You guys, I look back at the times I was given an opportunity to make a traditional decision or an unconventional trailblazing decision. Definitely getting my starter kit that night. Post-dated check, not enough, more month than money. That was a risk, but you had electronic banking then, so I covered it. Also, too, Debbie Moore was there, and she had quit her teaching job with a pink Cadillac and a small child to be at home and make 4 times what she was making as a teacher. That was a trailblazing idea. I had not seen people go from their college-educated jobs to direct sales ever. That was pretty untraditional in the late 80s. Definitely unconventional in my family. My family was not supportive. Family and friends were not supportive. In my first 36 months in Mary Kay, I signed up in Cleveland, went back to Michigan for 17 weeks while my husband went to the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center to become a federal agent. And then we found out we were stationed in Douglas, Arizona. And 1 year, 12 months after that, he was asked to be an instructor back at the Law Enforcement Training Center. So we moved to St. Simons Island, Georgia. My first 36 months, 4 states, 9 addresses, from Cleveland to Metro Detroit to right on the Mexican border, 9,000 people. Half didn't speak a word of English, and I didn't speak a word of Spanish. And then St. Simons Island, small golf resort island. A lot of people move there to have that pre-retirement life or a real laid back, beautiful life. So those 4 areas, 36 addresses, and my husband going through a super intense training program that if you failed any of the test, it was done. You were done. And he had waited 2 years to get this position. And then that 17 weeks at the academy. And then we got married and moved, his wife across the country. So that was trailblazing. That was very unconventional for his family. Mom, nurse, dad, teacher. You're going to realize, I hope, in the process of this study, that you are far more of a trailblazer and a pioneer than you've given yourself credit for. And that when God lays something on your heart, he always provides for it, always. It's just our responsibility to be obedient. And we know what obedience looks like in Mary Kay. It's book, coach, sell, recruit. Do it again. Book, coach, sell, recruit. Do it again. Whether you have a computer screen in between you or you're out with people. I can look at a couple different situations. All those moves, did Queen's Court of Sales down in Douglas, Arizona, with a flip chart in Spanish and a brochure in Spanish. It made me realize that it wasn't my personality. I didn't have to be extroverted. I didn't have to be anything other than help those women feel better about themselves. Take a translator sometimes. They handed over cash and I handed over products and did Queen's Court of Sales and earned a car at the end of that year. And then my husband's job moved us. So I went to seminar, because you go to 4 events a year, because trailblazers, we play by the rules of the game, but we're willing to figure out things because your journey is going to look different than anyone else's. But isn't that great? That is what allows us to do God first, family second, career third. See, if everyone's had to look the same, that balance would not be something that you would get to work with 100% of the time. And I guarantee you 100% of my 38 years, I've gotten to work with God first, family second, career third. Actually, this is where I met God. I knew who he was, but had no relationship. That all happened through Mary Kay. Wow, that's trailblazing right there for eternity. My son was born, fairly new director. My second year, just picked up my first Cadillac, had an emergency C-section, lived way away from family. So when people say family isn't supportive, or they live far away, or I don't have help with my kids, or it's a small town, or it's too big of a town, or I have another job. I had another job, 80 hours a week when I started this. I did a perfect start in 2 weeks, did the math and said, bye-bye. And from that day forward was responsible for figuring out how to make enough money to pay for either rent or now a mortgage, to earn a car. So I no longer had a car or insurance payment, to pay for groceries, electric, the whole deal. There's been seasons of my business that my husband's made more than enough money for a whole family to live on very comfortably, GS 14 position. But there is something about this opportunity that God said, no, this has nothing to do with what your husband makes or doesn't make. I need you staying forward focused to be a trailblazer here. And now I know why, because we're in a time period in Mary Kay, batons need to be passed. We need to be finding those women while you're doing your book, coach, sell, recruit, the 4-part recruiting plan. Be out there, in front of people with the product. Nothing happens until you sell something, but this is not about selling the product. We use the product as a vehicle to meet the trail.
Hold on. I'm not sure what happened. Can you guys still hear it or no? I didn't think so. All right, hold on a second. Let me go back in. Not sure what happened.
There is something about this opportunity that God said, no, we need to be finding those women while you're doing your book, coach, sell, recruit, the 4-part recruiting plan. Be out there, in front of people with the product. Nothing happens until you sell something, but this is not about selling the product. We use the product as a vehicle to meet the trailblazers, and you will know who they are because they start to lean in when you're talking about the opportunity in Mary Kay's story and where you were when you started and where you're going to. People aren't used to hearing women talk about goals and dreams. I had never heard that. That was not something they taught me at the University of Michigan Business School. What's your dream? Yeah, conversation never happened. Thought never happened until I was in Mary Kay. And I'm like, oh, wow. Like, I have no idea. I really haven't thought about a dream. I want to give you guys a book because Mary Kay said one of the keys to success was to read every single day. She was politically incorrect. She said the Bible in the morning and an inspirational book at night or sometime in the afternoon. Schedule it. No one has time just laying around to read. It has to be scheduled. All of my reading time is scheduled. But the longer I've been in Mary Kay, the more I realize I have to continue changing my thinking because my DNA is trailblazing and pioneering. I now know, but I didn't know how to do it. You may not even know how to do it. You may not even know what you don't know. I guarantee you, if you will do the Mary Kay book, coach, sell, recruit, as your director teaches you, and do it again and again and again, and get your hands on all the books that Mary Kay has read, or someone has written about her so that you know about this ultimate trailblazer, she's going to sound a lot like you. And you're going to be excited to represent a company of trailblazers. But while you're out there, we need to be passing these batons on because
It's interesting because it didn't do this to me earlier. Well, it says my Wi-Fi is at 5 bars, so I'm not sure what's going on. Hold on a sec, you guys. Maybe it's YouTube. I don't know. No, we do not want to hear whatever that is. Give me 1 second.
women need this business as much or more than when Mary Kay had this laid on her heart 62 years ago. When my son was 3 months old, he had to have an open heart surgery, which was on an emergency basis. I left my home in June and was in Jacksonville, Florida for a week to stabilize him and then air ambulanced up to Ann Arbor, Michigan. I will tell you guys that was a huge turning point for me and my husband. I had Mary Kay directors drive in that weren't mine. They were not part of my lineage. They just drove in and did my meetings and helped out while I was gone at the end of a Mary Kay seminar year. My husband was a federal agent with those golden handcuff insurance benefits that I talk about. And no one gave him vacation time. No one helped him out. Actually, it was before the Family Security Act. So he took work without pay. And the great insurance we had from the government, from him being a federal agent, would pay for open heart surgery for Jake in Jacksonville, Florida, but they would not necessarily pay for the air ambulance, which was, I don't know, a lot of money, tens and tens and tens of thousands of dollars, because they said he could have his surgery there. But that was 2 open heart surgeries, 2 separate open heart surgeries versus 1. There was a physician that had invented a 1-step open heart surgery for infants for tetralogy of flow. And so, you know what? I did not have that money in a savings account, but as there was something with this business, like I knew I'd regret it if I didn't try it. I also knew I'd regret if I didn't try being a Cadillac director, and did do that 6 months as a new director in a town that no one did meetings in because the director that was there said that it was too small. She went up to Savannah or down to Jacksonville, Florida. Wow. I became a director and earned a Cadillac in 6 months. I was there on St. Simon's, gosh, for 15 years. Earned 13 trips. It was the base to my $1 million units in national area. Moved up to Detroit when God called me and my husband to come back home and again trailblaze because there was not any technology at that point in time. So I had to record all my training on cassette tapes and have 800 numbers and free conference call. I figured that all out myself. Like that was necessary. There's going to be stuff God's going to give you strategic ideas. The book recommendation is Multiplying Your God-Given Potential by John Bevere, Bevere. I love this book because it's going to teach you how God works with strategic ideas. That was like dreams. I had never heard of that before. Also, too, it's all based on Matthew 30:14 through 25. And that is what Mary Kay, that's a lie. Matthew 25:14 through 30. Oh, I think I'm dyslexic and maybe a little ADD. And social anxiety for sure. So if those are anything that you've dealt with, this business is a great way to work through it without, it's going to save you drugs and lots of counseling. God's going to use this as a potter wheel. But Matthew 25:14 through 30. Mary Kay signed that on my dollar bill when I left her home at new director training a long time ago, 36 years ago. And that whole book is about that. It's about being willing to take a risk. It's about the parable of the talents and the person that buries their talents and doesn't use it to God's full potential for you, not for what the world sees. The world may think that you're very successful and, you have it all made, but you know that you haven't taken the steps to throw your heart across a line to reach God's full potential for you towards your big dream. And Mary Kay, she told us more so than any accolade that we could achieve. She said, if you do not hear good and faithful servant at the end, then none of the other stuff is worthwhile. That was a trailblazing statement. I had never met a woman like Mary Kay before. There was this concern about my spiritual and my personal, my marriage and my child rearing years as she was the success that I brought to this company. She's a trailblazer. She was a pioneer. You're a trailblazer. You're a pioneer. I cannot wait to see what you do with this new discernment, focus, transformation, and work. Work hard, trust God, dream big, to see what that turns into by career conference and then seminar 2025. You guys, thank you for participating. Don't squander this opportunity. This important time frame is important in Mary Kay, and you're part of it for a reason.
Oh my gosh, you guys, I just love that. So I would love for you all, let me turn my camera back on. I know it always streams better when I turn my camera off, although it didn't seem to work. Unmute yourself, or raise your hand. I would love to know what did you hear that had an impact on you? What did you feel like she was saying, like, wow, I needed to hear that? What was your greatest takeaway? Everyone want to go at the
Use
same
the
time?
product to meet the trailblazers. Use the product as a vehicle to
Right.
meet the trailblazers.
Love that. So that it's not necessarily to sell, it's to share. Absolutely. Thank you for that. Who else wants to share? Thank you for that, Connie.
I loved when she said that she knew she had found her tribe when she got into Mary Kay, and it took her a while to figure out why, but because that thing that they all had in common was the trailblazing. So I think that's when we come to these meetings and we're finding that thing that fills the gap for us. That's why.
Yep. Thank you for that, Melanie. Who else wants to share? Katie, are you coming on camera to share?
Oh yeah, I just number one, just love how much this company is not afraid to talk about a big risk, which is letting God be in front and center of everything and not burying your God-given talents. And it's not necessarily what the world expects of you, but your God-given talents and not being afraid to take those risks. And, in a world where God has almost become, as a teacher, where God's like a bad word, I just love that this is a career where God is the very first thing, that's the first focus. And that's the biggest risk of all, is being willing to be out there and be in this business with faith. And that's a big deal for me. And I love that.
Thank you so much. That is, I totally agree. The first time I was at a Mary Kay event and they opened an invocation, I'm like, I was still working at corporate. I'm like, wait, what? We're opening in prayer? Thank you for that. Okay, who else wants to share?
It looked like Hilda was going to say something when I opened my mouth. Did you have something?
Yeah, I was, but well, a couple of things. One of them has already been said, so that's why I turned off. That selling the product is good, but it's not about just selling the product. We use the product to meet others and share the Mary Kay dream.
Yep.
Yeah, like that, and part of our makeup, our DNA, is to be a trailblazer.
Yep.
Mhm.
Totally agree, Miss Hilda. All right, Patsy.
I love that she could trailblaze wherever she went because she moved so many times and
Mhm.
had so many career things change in her life. And it's perfect for people for example, if you're a military family. My parents moved 22 times in their military career. This would have been something so perfect for my mom back in that day. So, it's wonderful that you could offer that to somebody that is in that situation. You could take it with you wherever you go. Blaze a trail everywhere.
Thank you for that, Patsy, very much. Okay, who else wants to share? What did you hear? Because it's so funny. We all hear the same speech, but everybody takes away a different nugget. Who else wants to share?
Sonia.
And
This
like
week,
pretty much the same thing Patsy was saying. And pretty much she worked her business with whatever came up in her life. What didn't seem to be an obstacle for her. That was amazing. And how she spoke into us that we're trailblazers. I love how confident she was speaking and how she spoke into us. That was refreshing, made you feel alive. Um, she's amazing.
Thank you for that, Sonia. I appreciate that. A couple of things I heard, and then someone else can jump in. Is she said I knew that I could control, which is interesting because I trained on that at 6 o'clock. My willingness and my attitude. So she knew she had control over her willingness and her attitude, and she said I had to make a choice between conventional or non-traditional. And she said, I'm a non-traditional kind of girl. So I knew that. She said she found her tribe, which I think Melanie mentioned earlier. I also love when she said God always provides, and that she says to be obedient and do what Mary Kay told us to do. She says, when people say you can't make money at this, you can make money, but you have to book, sell, coach, and recruit. It's no different than if you were doing something else and you had other job responsibilities. That's what you need to be successful. She said she knew who God was, but she didn't have a personal relationship with him. And I also love when she talked about I had to figure out how to pay for the mortgage and how to stay forward focused. Because once she did the math and had a decent month in sales, she's like, and started team building with, I think she was a red jacket. She's like, well, this is silly. I'm going for it. And so, they have that whole analogy about burn the ships. Well, she burned the ship. She quit her job. And now it was like, okay, I've got to pay the mortgage, part of the phone bill, like utilities. And when you burn the ships, there is no way to go but forward. Right. And so, um, I love that. Staying forward focused. Who else wants to share? Sherry, are you not falling
Yeah,
asleep? Hopefully, 'cause I know
no,
you're on.
no, I'm not falling asleep yet, but the struggle is real as far as I hold 4 different jobs plus take care of triplet grandchildren, and it's just a lot. And when life is just, I mean, this whole area has been ill, so I've been finding my why. do I really want to work for other people? I don't want to work for anybody else anymore. I'm getting tired of it. And, she hit it on the head. I mean, I just need to book, sell, recruit. And I just getting that motivation and just having little tidbits. Like I worked on a client tonight and said, I started uh, my Mary Kay business. And she's like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited because now I know where to go to get my product. I've got this excess amount of Clinique and I don't want to use it anymore. I want to go back to Mary Kay. So I'm like, it's really easy. You just got to let God do the work.
And
So,
being intentional, because you could have not said anything. Or
right.
Hilda could not wear a t-shirt, or Katie could not hand out a sampler or take a tote to a doctor's appointment. So it's just what Janice and they've been talking about since Boss Babe Series week 1 came. Be intentional, put yourself out there, and you build you can't like wait for your doorbell to ring and go, I heard a rumor you sell Mary Kay in here. It's like, that's never gonna happen. We got to get out of our house and
My
be
product got delivered to the wrong place. It was so funny. And this lady comes with 29 pounds of makeup. And she's like, now I know where to go for my Mary Kay. And it was so funny. I said, well, let me give you a sample. She says, no, it's okay. She ran, but it was so funny because it got delivered to the wrong house and she delivered it to me.
It's funny how God wants you to meet certain people. So,
Right.
Congratulations. And I can't wait to go back to North Carolina and we're going to go to do career conference together in North Carolina, Sherry and I and Janice. So if y'all know anybody in North Carolina, let me know. They can come with us.
Okay.
So congratulations, Sherry. Thank you for sharing. Who else had something they want to share from what you heard tonight? Real quick as we wrap it up. Who else had something that spoke to them? One more second. No? Carrie, are you wanting to say something? She's like, no, don't be calling on me, Diane. No. Okay, so
Diane, I think
here's what I'm go ahead.
sorry.
Go ahead, Marty.
I think it was the energy. So I was finishing up things in here, but I think it was the energy. Her energy was just so like it comes from motivation. It comes from the need that she had, her family, but also from changing. Moving 9 times. Is that what she said? Moving one time, 9 times in a year, and having the family doing stuff, her husband doing trainings and all that. I mean, it's everything that she went through, and she found the energy that she needed with Mary Kay. She found out that she can do it, whatever she wants and the time that she wants, and she had the need to pay the bills and all that. So it's just, I feel like it, for me, for example, I relate to it because it has been the energy that I needed to pull back, to center or whatever. And I think that's another major reason for me to stay and keep doing it. But also, I see transformation with this, and she clearly says she has more than 10 cars, Cadillacs, and she didn't have to pay, right, for insurance for only for years. So that's awesome. Like that energy that you can transform and do something for yourself, for your family. I mean, that's amazing. I love that.
Thank you for sharing that, Marty. I appreciate it. So you guys, so I'm going to give you guys a quick challenge. So what I guess I want to ask, and you can just all either raise your hand or not, is my question is, do you want more out of your business? Do you want more? If you want more, whatever more is to you, because that's subjective, but if you want more, raise your hand. If anybody wants more, either more money, more customers, more team members, more something. Okay, then my question to, I'm assuming all of you are not on camera raising your hands. So my question to you is, so are you willing to do something this week to get more? Because we can want to be in shape, but are we willing to go to the gym? Are we want to eat healthy, but are we willing to drive past Taco Bell and go home and make a sandwich that's healthy or whatever? Do you know what I'm saying? So my challenge to you is that in 24 hours, so between now and 7 o'clock tomorrow night or 7:30 tomorrow night, I want you to get a booking, whether it be book somebody to be on Lance's event for tomorrow with Janice, book somebody for the Monday live thing in Concord, book somebody to either do a virtual thing where you mail them samples or drop off samples. Maybe you do a pop up at your house. Maybe you do a pop up at her house. Book something to be with somebody, like in front of a person or virtually with a person. Does that make sense? You know, 24 hours, book one. You all have that person on your chicken list, your sister in law, your whoever. They're like, well, I haven't really been asking her yet because I know she's super busy and I'm a little scared. It's like, you know what? The worst thing she can say is no, and all no means is not now. You go ask someone else. So, everybody, I want to challenge you. So, text your director as soon as you get that one new booking. Now, if you've got bookings, that's great, but one new face to jump on tomorrow night, that's probably the easiest one. Or one new person, maybe you book somebody to hear the career opportunity on Thursday. That would count. But I need you guys to be out there literally taking action because we can sit here and do Boss Babe and for the next 30 weeks and train ourselves to death. But if we don't put it into action and allow it to impact us, I mean, God's ready for us to step up. So who's ready to step up? You don't have to know how to get there. You don't have to know what you're going to do when you get there. You just have to have the desire and the unstoppable mentality of I'm going to get there, right? I know, Patsy, you had a quote a couple weeks ago about something like that, which really impressed me. I wrote it down, but I don't know where it is. So, all right, you guys. So that's your challenge is to book one thing and you have 24 hours to do it. Okay. All right, you guys have a fabulous week. Thanks, you guys, for being on. And if you aren't registered for Career Conference or you haven't paid your director for your luncheon, please reach out to your director because the luncheon's almost sold out. Good night, everybody. Ships are built in the harbor but aren't meant to stay there. Oh, good quote, Katie. Love that. Good night, everybody.